Hey guys, this video is going to be a quick meta update. This is like 3 days into the new patch 7.31D. Let's just talk about exactly what I've been seeing a lot in my games and what I think you guys should be looking out for when you're picking in pubs.
Banana slam jam.
So far, I've seen a lot of healing supports because of the change to salve. Also, I'd like to note that the meta, if you guys are working together between the 5 and the 1, used to be that you were salving your carry in order to accelerate their game, give them more net worth. But now that salves have been halved, it's pretty much not a thing anymore. So instead, what a lot is happening at the highest bracket already is that the carries are buying a salve to start the game, and the supports are feeding them tangos. I know that sounds super fun, but if you guys are really trying to optimize 5 positions and 1 positions, if you communicate this kind of stuff, it can absolutely lead to having lanes that would otherwise be lost and turn into wins. But I really do like healing supports because of this, if this is not happening in your games. The most notable healing supports for me are Dazzle and Witch Doctor. I haven't really gotten a large sample size of Warlock, but I feel like he might also be very strong. In terms of lane dominating supports, I really like Crystal Maiden right now. I know she has less tankiness than a melee creep level 1, guys, but they have significantly buffed both of her nukes in the laning stage over the last like 10 patches. Mana cost, damage, cooldown, at this point cast range. It's getting pretty insane for Crystal Maiden. I have had a huge problem laning against it as an off lane, and feels like I almost always win my lane if I'm laning with it as a 5, and it's definitely being shown in my games. Moving on to position 4, the big position 4s for me are Marcy and Shaman as like the 2 best lockdown catch position 4s. Marcy got added into captain's mode. She's getting first pick, first ban. People are kind of experimenting with her in a bunch of different roles, but I personally like her a lot in the 4. I think she pairs really well with any of these toxic offlaners. For instance, I saw Team Liquid play against Goon Squad yesterday, and Matu had a lane pick into Marcy Viper, and he picked Weaver and still lost. I can't really think of a carry that beats Marcy Viper or like Marcy Necro. She like protects that ranged hero. She kills people with the hero that doesn't previously have a stun, and displacement spells are just insane, right? So I really like Marcy right now. In terms of ranged 4s, I like Shaman and Grimstroke a lot. Feels like they have the highest playmaking potential. Grimstroke just has to be a bit more careful, because if your teammates aren't working with you on your Inkswell and don't pick synergies with your ultimate, kind of just feels bad. So Grimstroke's more for like duo queue party queues, and Shaman I think is much better for pubs. If you're going for like a greedier 4, which is actually pretty common nowadays, I really like Doom and Enigma still. They were super popular at the major, and I know they may not sound like 4 positions traditionally, but Enigma, you know, he denies the creeps for his core and then jungles near the lane. So he's like, even though he's like jungling, he's denying creeps and contributing to the lane. And then Doom, people are just leveling Scorched Earth with boots and just running at you. They've actually buffed Doom's base stats a ton over the course of the last few patches. He used to have 0 armor, and now he has 5. So this hero is actually pretty tanky with virtually no items. Scorched Earth level 1 does 180 damage. Yes, it's damage over time, but that's pretty value for any hero as a support. Doom, he basically just turns into a greedier, like a less farmed offlane Doom. A lot of these support Dooms are just going Tranquils, Blink, BKB, and utilizing max Scorched Earth to have impact in the mid game. There's a lot of jungle creeps that make this hero incredibly impactful. I feel it's really hard to play against it when he's the 4, because I'm effectively as a carry scared of getting doomed, but it's just a support. These Dooms seem to reliably have like Blink BKB sometime by like 20 minutes. And I'm just like, well, I'm dealing with a Blink BKB Doom and he's not a core, so it's a little rough. But okay, at the 3 position, I think Visage is the best aura team fighter hero. I think he's really strong. His lane's a bit weak, but if you can get past it, he has really good talents. He loves still building the Wraith Pact and the drums and the upgraded drums. You can also go like the Ags build if you want to gank. I think he's on paper difficult to play, but really he's just unique when it comes to the micro, that I don't think he's that hard. And if you really want to practice him, just like get over that little hump, play him a few games, get used to his little micro mechanics. They're not very difficult to learn. They're just different. Big highlight to Clockwork. Clockwork is my boy Clock. I have played this hero 4 times. The battery assault change is fantastic. You can push in the lane with your battery assault if you want to like pressure their tower. You can, when you're level 5, if there's nothing else to do in lane, which in the past Clockwork would literally just sit there crying, you can actually go clear a big camp with 1 battery assault. And that's a huge deal for a hero that's never been able to farm, never really accelerated his levels, and also like just felt like he always fell behind as a core. It's a huge deal for him. I think he's really strong. His kit is innately really strong. He's just never been able to get items. I think Bristleback is massive. All the item changes like BKB getting nerfed, Eternal Shroud buff, and even potentially Bloodstone. I think this hero is just really nice in like a high tempo, low cooldown meta, and heroes that need BKB to fight are really going to struggle against heroes like Bristle and Necro, who are just consistently ready to fight due to the innate survivability of their kit. Hero I do not have on my list here that I really want to highlight is Beastmaster. I think teams are just going to be picking this hero left and right. Beastmaster, what people are doing is rather than leveling the boar in lane, they're leveling axes. And they're doing the wand plus 3 branches starting build. They're flying out like 1 salve. And then they're usually building like a normal Beastmaster. They go Helm of Iron Will into the Helm of the Dominator, into the Helm of the Overlord, and playing like a normal beast. But they're doing, they're going 1-0-1, sometimes 2-0-1 in terms of skill build. And then eventually they tend to start maxing out the boar later. But it's a unique way to like lane the hero, and with the wand build it feels really strong. You actually have enough mana to sustain. Some of them stop back for like a Bassi before they go for the Helm of Dominator. And I think if you want to learn these summons heroes, they are really good right now. These aura items are still quite strong, and I think Visage and Beastmaster are by far the 2 best. Next up in the mid lane, we got ourselves the highlight hero of the patch that people just love to hear. He's not completely griefing, and that's Pudge. I actually think, unironically, Pudge mid is strong. Most mid heroes are just, a lot of heroes in general have some sort of damage over time built into their kit, even if it's like Hoodwink's W for Bushwhack. It's just a bunch of instances of damage. Pudge's 3rd spell got massively buffed to block a lot of damage, people. It's 7, 14, 21, 28. There's a lot of spells that have small increments of damage, and it makes them do effectively 0 damage now. So the hero's super tanky. He takes no damage from his rot when this is active. It doesn't say on here, but at max level it has over 50% uptime on Flesh Heap's active ability, so you can spam rot while farming without killing yourself, which is a massive buff to Pudge. People are, if they're really playing like to carry the game, they're going like Ags, Eternal Shroud, and BKB. Shivas, there's overall Ags plus durability items. I think the hero's unironically good. In terms of the mobile heroes of the meta, I really do think Batrider's the best one. He's been given a bunch of little buffs, and out of all the heroes that kind of like rushed BKB or like kind of need a BKB, his lasso's about the same cooldown as BKB, and he also doesn't need BKB to be survivable because of Firefly, high move speed, flying pathing, all that kind of stuff. So I think Batrider is really strong right now, and especially in low MMRs, people have no idea how to deal with this hero because he kills you by dragging you out of position. So if you guys can master Batrider, this is like an amazing patch to do it. I do look forward to trying to make a back guide in the near future. Next up is Lesh. All of his items got buffed. BKB got nerfed. You guys are seeing a trend. I've seen a lot of Lena in my pubs. She just got some really nice buffs to the duration of Fiery Soul. I'm not sure if you still just go the Boots of Travel BKB build. Seems like that's what a lot of people are doing. I do want to try some sort of spellcaster build, but nobody's really been doing that yet. But I do think she's still considerably stronger than she was last patch. Out of all the spirits, I'm going with it. Void Spirit as being the best. I think he's kind of slept on. I don't think people realize it yet. I'm seeing him like the first day I saw like virtually no Void Spirits. I feel like I'm seeing like 5% more Void Spirits every day I play. Like they're just becoming more and more common. I think people are catching on. Last but not least, for the carry role from last patch, I think Templar Assassin and CK are both still very strong. CK is not like auto win lane. He just wins only like 80% of his lanes now. Oh no. You know, just make sure you don't pick him into like Timbersaw plus AoE. You know, and I feel like CK is still very strong. He has a built-in sustain mechanic, which is super good with the salve nerf. TA, still an amazing flash farmer. None of her items got nerfed. The hero itself didn't get nerfed. I think she's very strong. In terms of highlighters that are new to the patch, maybe not new for you guys, but that's Juggernaut. I do believe Jug Lifestealer really went up in stonks because of the fact that BKB got nerfed, and these heroes obviously have built-in BKBs. I've tried both of them. They both felt pretty strong so far, and I will be sticking with those. Terrorblade, the level 1 meta going from 15 damage to 30, I think is just game-changing for the hero. He just wins the lane. Like I actually haven't gotten the chance to play Terrorblade yet, but I've laned against it twice as offlane, and when he pops meta level 1, I just gave him 2 free creep waves. Like I couldn't do anything. I tried to contest, and the guy just hits me for like 90 damage. It hurts. I was forced to give him 2 free creep waves. So he's like the exact same hero, but now he gets secured 2 creep waves in the early game, which for any hard carry is incredibly strong. Alchemist. Hear me out, guys. Alchemist, he's broken, okay? As long as the opponent cannot shove you out of lane with like Viper or anything like this, if they have a stunning offlaner or any offlaner that can't consistently do damage over time, so you don't want to pick them into like Necro or Viper or Veno, you want to pick them into like Sand King, Pango, DK. If they can't kill you over the course of like 10 seconds, because you're going to have your ultimate eventually, a lot of these offlaners rely on booting you out of lane at level 6. So as long as you can survive them by level 6, this hero's busted. I have easily gotten my Tread Soul Ring Radiance by anywhere between like 11 to 13 minutes almost every game. And you just go to the Radiance, Blink, BKB, and then usually like either AC or Basher, and you eventually get Strength Blink. The hero just feels like it always hits its timings. It's an Alch patch, people. I'm like 90% sure. I think he even gets played as a offlaner. I've seen him a decent amount as offlane, even 5 feeds Ags. Offlane goes like aura items like Wraith Pact and shit, because he gets them so early. But the big difference for Alch this patch is that people are leveling their stun super early in lane, even level 1. It's 150 damage if you charge it all the way up. So it's 150 damage, 1.75 second stun. I think enough for you guys. That's like enough, right? And if you couple that with the fact that it's physical damage and Acid Spray reduces armor, once you're level 2, people are usually doing this. They get a pretty early Soul Ring in order to sustain this. I personally think if your support sucks, you just go the normal old build of like Acid Spray into Grievel's Greed. But if you feel like you can actually kill people with your support, this damage output is absolutely insane between these two spells. Thanks for watching, guys. That's my meta update for 7.31D. I will do my best to continue updating you guys anytime I see some new meta technology. Thanks for watching. Bye.